Okay, so the shir is sponsored by the Zanjurian Mishpacha Lila Nishmas Avi's grandfather, Yitzchak ben Yosef, Zichron Levracha, and Avi's great-grandmother, Farang Bas Yehuda, Allah Shalom, and by Eitan and Lauren Lipstein, Lila Nishmas Eitan's grandmother, Rosie Claplin, Rizula Bas Rafal, Bechor, Zichron Levracha. The words of the Torah tonight should be Zchus Le'ili Nishmasam. So we were learning about the psul of Soine last time when we left off. The psul that an aid could be a puzzle if he hates the person who he's testifying about, and on the reverse, if he's an oyev, if he loves the person, so he also could be puzzle. That is the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. We do not paskin like that. We hold that any witness that is a witness based on a relationship, not based on a psul guf, not based on being a relative, but he just happens to either not like the guy or hate the guy, or he loves the guy. So we said that we paskin that that's kosher. I said that the Ktsos HaChoshen quotes the Maharshal based on the Tosus and Makis, says a big chiddush, which is not the pashtus of the Gemara, that from the Gemara in Makis, that the Gemara in Makis had a havamina that if you would rape a man, so the Gemara said that the nirba should be pasal edus. So Taisus says, what's the psul? So Taisus says he's a soine. He hates him. This guy, look at this, what this guy did to me, and it's a horrible thing. So Taisus says, so the Mefarshim all ask, but we don't paskin like Rabbi Yehuda. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says that Sone is only paskin according to Rabbi Yehuda. We paskin like Rabbanan that Sone is kosher. So the Marshal Mikoach that Tosos said a chiddush niflad lamaod that Sone is pasal. What Rabbi Yehuda says, Kol shelo diber im chavero shlosha yamim. Guy doesn't speak to his friend for 3 days. That's a Sone that's pasal. But a Sone of a nirbe, someone who hates the guy's guts. Says the Marshal, a Soine Gomer, that's something that's possible, l'chol adeis, even lahalacha, we're going to paskin that a Soine like this would be possible la'edus, a chiddush nifla of the Marshal that comes out of the Shita of the Tosus. So the Gemara says, Hasoine koshel odiber mashlosha yamim, Tana Rabbanan, right before the last Gemara, before the Mishnah, on Chav Tesam and Aleph. The Pasuk Darshins, how do you know this? How do you know that a Soine is possible? Says the Pasuk, Legabe Malkis, a person who was made about his friend that he hit the axe b'shoigeg, right? The psukim in the end of in Dvarim, v'hulo oyev lo ya'idenu. If the person who's witnessing the act and he's not an oyev lo, is not someone who's an enemy of his, then the pasuk says ya'idenu. V'loy mevakesh raso yadinenu, and one who does not want his detriment, so he will judge him. Ashkechon soine. So the Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda found a mucker for a soine, for someone who hates him. Oyev minolon. How do you know that someone who loves him, he's also puzzle, he's biased in that direction as well? Kari bei hachi v'hulo oyev lo v'lo oyev lo yeidenu. So the Gemara darshins lo oyev lo v'lo oyev lo v'lo yeidenu. It's both bein ava bein being an oyev. V'lo mevakesh raso v'lo tovaso yedinenu midei oyev ksiv. So the Gemara asked, so you told me the pasuk, and nowhere in the pasuk does it say oyev. These are not good makoros. They're good makoros for sone. But how do you know oyev? Says the Gemara elas svarahu oyev my taima mishum demercha kadaite. What's the reason an oyev is possible? Because he distances his das from such a person. Oyev nami mekra v'daite. We don't want a person who's going to be biased because of his kirav hadas. So that's all within the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Comes along the Gemara and says, "V'rabanan hayloi oyev lo v'loy mevakesh raso my darshibe." So what did the Rabbanan do with these psukim? Rabbi Yehuda had a pasuk legabe at least sonei. Sonei is beferish in the pasuk, and Rabbi Yehuda says that's the makar that is sonei is pasuk le'edus. So now the Gemara asks, so what does Rabbanan do with those drushes? Says the Gemara, darshe bechad ledayon. So this is fascinating. Even though Rabbanan and Rabbi Yehuda have a machlokes whether or not a soine is pasal le'edus, ledayonis, the Rabbanan are maskim. L'dayonis, the Rabbanon are maskim. Says Rashi, Chad l'dayan, de bedayin moide Rabbanon de soine lo yodun de lo yimotzi chozel leis chusa. So I found this to be fascinating. Rabbanon on the books are saying, Eidus, there is no such psul outside of krovim relatives, outside of being a puzzle, a gambler, whatever you want to talk about, someone who's a gazlan, all these psulim that we discussed, that's who's puzzle. An oyev and a soine is not puzzle. But comes along the Rabbanon and they say, but we'll made it to you that a dayan is puzzle. What's the difference? I understand, if you hold that he's taka puzzle, so Rabbi Yehuda's right. It should be puzzle b'manav shach. If that's a psul, if an oyev is taka a good psul, if a soine is taka a good psul, so then you should be consistent. Bein be'edus, bein be'dayonis, that should puzzle. What's pshat with Rabbanan Shita? What's pshat with the way we pass it? It's a little bit strange. Busa, what do you think? What do you mean? I think Mark's right. I don't think it's sometimes. I think it's all the time. I think the Rambam tells us dayan is done al pi umden daita. A dayan is a judge by definition has to cheshben out the situation in order to make a verdict. The edus is objective. The edus is just the testimony of a story. So now you have a kasha. Is this guy going to lie and make up a whole false testimony in this situation? So the Rabbanan say, you know what? Lo nechshtu Yisrael hakach. There might be oivim, there might be sainim, but he's not going to make up a whole story. Mamish to go as far as mamish to give Eid Sheker, to go against the Aseret HaDibros, that much we're not choishish, like Rabbi Yehuda says. But now you're talking about a dayan. Dayan, like Mark said, there's wiggle room in every case. You can, this is the testimony, and now I have to decide how to give my verdict, how to judge the situation based on this and based on that, that is always going to be affected based on a bias, based on the relationship, based on your interactions, which is a big musar haskell. It's a big musar haskell that when we're judging other people, we have to realize that we're ba'etzem dayanim about the world around us. And the Rabbanan are maskim that your relationship and your interactions with a person, how often you spoke to them, you haven't spoken to them in 3 days, or you're bedafka not speaking to them in 3 days, or you were involved with someone, that is going to affect how you're going to judge such a person, even though I might not speak lashon hara about the person. I might not give edus that is, bad edus about the person, but keep in mind, human psychology is that you're going to judge them in a certain bias based on your relationship, and the dayonis shabo and the edus shabo are not necessarily going to be parallel. Yeah, Itay. Okay. So I think it's a big yesod that's coming out of our Gemara about the chiluk of the two. The Rambam in source number on the page over here in Perek Chav Dalid Halacha Vav. So the Rambam brings down our Gemara, Paskin like Rabbanan, top Rambam. Also l'dayin lodan lemishu ovo, afal pisha enu shushpino, below reo asher kanafsho, below lemisha soneu, afal pisha enu oyevo, below mevakish roso, elatzarch shiu shnei balidinim shavim be'enei adayin belibo. The two balidinim that he's judging have to be equal. V'im lo yamaker es echad mehem v'lo ma'asav en l'chadayin tzedek kamo. So the Rambam says, it's usher for the dayan to judge him. It's usher to the dayan to judge him. So it sounds like from the Rambam, the Kesef Mishnah quotes the Gemara at the top of the Kesef Mishnah in the corner, Sham Kuf Heyamad Beis, Amra Papa Lolidin Inish Loy Leman de Rachib Le V'lo Leman de Sani Le. Person, the Gemara in Ksubis tells us on Kuf Hey, person shouldn't judge a person that had rachmanas on him, that had compassion on him, did him a favor, and not a person that wasn't nice to him, that hated him. So Rabbeinu dahach lo yaskinim ba'oyevo da'aynu shushbinu b'saynish lo diber imo shlosha yamim. We're not talking about the psul that Rabbi Yehuda held when it came to Eidos, that Imamish didn't speak to him for 3 days. No, the Rambam says any bad interaction with him. Ela afilu ba'oev kederach ovim v'sonik kederach hasonim v'afilu hachi kamer de lo lidon lei. So you see this distinction even in the Rambam's categorization. the Rambam's telling us that not necessarily do the definitions of Oev and Soneh do they mimic the definition that Rabbi Yehuda was one who excluded in the Hilchos Edus. So you see, when it comes to Dayanis, the Rambam tells you any type of Oev, even if it wasn't to the level of being your shushbin and your best man at your wedding, or a Soneh that wasn't a person that necessarily didn't speak to him out of anger for three days. Any Ava, any Sinah is something that's going to sway the Dayan's mind and is going to affect his decision. In Tomer, the Kesef continues, Beperik Zebora, Gabi Hadis Nan Rabbi Yehuda, Oyev Asayne Psul Naedis, Ezu Oyev Zesh Shbino, Vasayne Koshel Dibrem, Shlosh Yamim, Be'eva, Amrin Hasa, the Pligan, Rabbana Leilin, and Edish, Shem Ksherim, Avaladin Psulim, Mashma, the low Pastor, Rabbana Ladin, Ella Bishushbino, Vishlo Dibrem, Shlosh Yamim. So what's the Kesef question? Doesn't the flow of our Gemara say that Rabbanon are molded to Rabbi Yehuda, that what? That the nature of the psul that he has by Eidos, they're invalidating for that dayan. If that be the case, so then says the Kesef Mishnah, it has to be a certain criteria, namely, whoever Rabbi Yehuda calls an Ohev, the best man, the shushbin, that's the category of an Ohev. And a Soneh is the person who hasn't spoken to him in 3 days, but it's not any sinah, it's not any ava. So ask the Kesef Mishnah, how does the Rambam say and mashma that any ava and any sinah is going to be invalid? If Shloimer Ladas Rabbeinu Dekevid Amrin in Perik Zebar Sheni Yachalodin Laov Losono Vashkan Rav Papa Da Amar Hasam Lolaman Derachim Lolaman Desanile Bistam Lo Fil Chilek Islam Lamemer Techi Pasle Rabban Ladin Lo Begavne Der Yehuda Bechudu De Pasle Ela Bechol Gavne Derachim Osanile Mafsil. So the Kesef Mishnah thinks no, that the flow of the Gemara, albeit that it was the Rabbanan saying that we are molded, that there is going to be a psul when it comes to Dayanis, it was a new category, but I think the reason I'm bringing this out is because the definition of an Oev and Soneh for Dayanos is not going to parallel the definition of the Oev and Soneh for Rabbi Yehuda Shita in Hilchos Edus. Again, coming out of that same logic that anything could sway the Dayan's mind because he is going to make a decision call, and any interaction could affect that, and therefore it doesn't have to be that heavy category that Rabbi Yehuda passed. Yeah. Yeah.
If there's a katan and a gadol, or if there's someone you're going to be favorable to, don't show that favor.
No, so that's talking about if I have a choice, first of all, who to give kedima with and who to judge. So then that's something that I shouldn't do, or I shouldn't mess up the din because he needs a favor, he needs a taiva. That's pashut. Mamish to be ma'akil the din would be something that would be us. The Gemara is saying over here, no, I'm an honest guy. I'm going to try to do my best. But the Gemara is saying, wait a second. Make a cheshbon before you start this din Torah. Do you have some prior, interactions with this guy? Did you not speak to him for a little bit and have a little quarrel with him? The Gemara is saying it's very hard. What? It's dafka personal. Yeah. This is going to sway you. And even if you think you're an honest person, human psychology tells you that you're not going to be able to withstand this, and you're going to be puzzled. Even though Lagabe Edis, we're not going to say that you're going to be puzzled. There is a group of Rishonim, just before we close this sugya, there's a group of Rishonim. Yeah, Itai.
The Rabbanan and Rabbi Yehuda, are the Rabbanan more machmir when it comes to dying, or Rabbi Yehuda's masking to a different definition by Dayan?
We don't know what Rabbi Yehuda's shita is by Dayanim. It's a good question. It's not clear. The Gemara never, l'ch'ora, from the fact that there's no pasuk left to the Dayanis, I would assume that Rabbi Yehuda would be more mekel when it comes to Dayanis. Whatever he says by Edis should be applicable by Dayanis. There is a Gemara in Nida, I think it's quoted a few times in Masech Sanhedrin. There's a famous Mishnah that the Gemara has a lashon of yesh shekasher yesh kol kasher ladon kasher lahaid. But then the Gemara says yesh shekasher lahaid v'pasol ladon. That's what the Gemara says. There's a big hack in the woman sugyas. That the what's with can a woman be a dayan? This and that. The Taisis and Kama. So that's why this sugya is famous. So the kasha is the Gemara works very hard to try to figure out who is kosher lahaid but pasal ladin. So the Gemara says, we found someone, asuma b'achas me'enov. Gemara says a guy who's blind in one of his eyes. That's the case. So the Ran here, the Rishonim asked the Kasha, what do you mean? We just found the case. According to Shitas Rabbanon, an Oyev and a Saine. He's Kasha Lahaid, and he's Pasal Ladin. So the Ran says, Mikoyach that, we learned the whole Gemara wrong. This is all just Lechatchila. Rabbanon never meant to say that they're Pasal. And that's why that wasn't the solution that the Gemara Nida was able to find for a Kasha Lahaid of a Pasal Ladin. The whole din is just Lechatchila. What? The Psukim are telling you a din Lechatchila. You shouldn't do it, but if you did it, it's a good din. But the Evid, it's good. What do you mean, what's the problem?
Do we ever have a drasha like that?
Sure, all the time. Lechatchila is in the Doraisa all the time. Things that are not makif. Sure.
You learn something from a pasuk to say.
Sure.
This is not
Chalitza. Rikika by Chalitza. It's all not makif. Kriyas Aparsha by Chalitza. All not makif. They're psukim, all lechatchilas. Yeah. Kodshim. The Gemara says in Kodshim, the Gemara says by Zvachim all over. Shina Allah v'akasav la'akif. If the Gemara's in Zvachim every other daf, the Gemara says if they're two psukim, so then it's ma'akif. So then so the Rishonim all right. So if there's one pasuk, sounds like it's just a din lechatchila. Lechatchila by the rices you have lechatchilas all the time. So it's here it's an isser. It's an isser lechatchila. But b'diavad, if a guy done, he shouldn't have done it. But once he was there, the bezdin, we're not going to have to redo the din Torah. So the kasha is, but the Rambam does the shaila is, but what the pashas pshad in the Rishonim is that the Rabbanon were being moide. If you read Rashi, the Rashi chad l'dayin moide Rabbanon. Moide Rabbanon. What does moide Rabbanon mean? Moide Rabbanon to Rabbi Yehuda means he's puzzle. That's the pashas pshad in Rashi. Pashas pshad in our sugi is not like the Ran. He's puzzle. Same Cain. So what do you do with the Ran's kasha? So what's with that Mishnah in Nida? Kol hakasha lahaid pasal adin. Yesh kasha lahaid pasal adin. Why did the Gemara choose this case? So it could be, the answer is, because the Gemara was looking for cases of a psul guf. Yeah, shkoyach, you found a situation that a guy doesn't like another guy, and there's a relationship issue that's going to be, but we wanted to know, in Hilchos Psulim, is there a puzzle for Eidos that is going to be kosher, is there kosher le'Eidos that's going to be puzzle ladin? L'chayra, those Rishonim would have to answer some sort of lumdis like that to answer up the mission over there. But that's what really causes the Ran to say this whole Gemara is just lechatchila. Okay, says the Mishnah, brand new Mishnah. Chav Testament Aleph. Keitzad boidkim es ha'edim. Oh, you have testimony? Let's see if you actually know what you're talking about. Hayu machnisin oso lacheder. They bring him into the room. Ume'aymin aleim, and we terrify them. Umotziin es kol ha'odom l'chutz. Everyone has got to leave the room. Umeshayirin es hagadol shebehem, and you leave the older witness. Let him go first. Va'omrin lo, Emor, tell us. How do you know that this guy actually owes this guy money? Im Omer, if he says, Hu Omer li shani chayav lo, if he says he told me that he's chayav to him, or Ish ploni Omer li shu chayav lo, we're not sure what was wrong with he told him. Let's see for a second. He told him, Hu Omer li, Rashi says, Halova Omer li, the borrower told me, right? Or Ish ploni Omer li, or this guy told me that Adi owes Yitzi money. What's the problem with that, Rabosai? That Avi told me that Adi. What? That's hearsay. It's Eid Mipi'eh. That's not direct. What's the problem with the first one? That's direct. The Lova told me. So what? That's admission. Hoidas baldin kameya edom dami. A person is moed that he's chayiv. That's kameya edom. He was moed. Even outside of Bezdin, he was moed. What's lacking? Lamaisa. Isn't this a classic Hodas Baldin? So the answer is no. That's what we're going to see in this sugya. Certain times people make jokes. Certain times people, the Gemara is going to have two types of excuses. Let's call them. One is called Meshate Hayisibach. I was joking. And unless I said the words Atem Edai, you are my witnesses, that clearly I was very serious about the admission. But if I was just saying, yeah, I probably owe money or something like this, Mishata Yisibach, I was joking around. So that's Mashate Yisibach is usually if he is Toveya me, and then I respond, oh yeah, I do owe you money. So I can respond without the words Atameda, I can respond to you, oh, by the way, I was joking, because I never said Atameda. Or if he wasn't Toveya me, he didn't ask, and he didn't claim the money, I could say another claim, says the Gemara. Adam Asui Sheloi Lasbia Esbonov. A guy is concerned that I'm no longer gonna be around, and everyone's gonna think I'm a wealthy guy, and they're all gonna come to my kids and they're gonna say, "Oh, your father owed me money, this and that." So you know what? I want the reputation to be that I don't have a lot of money. So what did I do? I said, "Oh, I owe Adi this amount of money, and I owe Yitzi this amount, and I owe Jerome, and I owe this guy, and I sound like a guy who just has chovos up the galore. I have tons and tons of chovos." So now they come and say, "We heard you be maide." No, so says the Gemara, there's an umdana, Adam also shalolaz biyazmanav. If he never said atamedai, so then, and no one actually asked him, so the reason why he was bringing that up is because he wanted to make sure that he doesn't look like a wealthy person. So that's what the Gemara is going to go on to say. So the Gemara says, Ish ploni armalishu chayav lo lomer klum. All this is nothing. Ad sheyomer bifanenu hoide loshu chayav lo masayim zuz. Then they get the second hit, and they check him. If their two testimonies are parallel, so then we start the din Torah. Then the dayanim start adjudicating the case and start arguing about the nature of the case. Again, it starts off, we need testimony. Without testimony, we can't do anything. Part of knowing if there's testimony is if these two Eidim, what they're saying actually links up. It's parallel. Now we could start a masu mata. Shnayim omrim zakai. What happens if in the conclusion process, when they're taking the votes, two guys said that he wins. Ve'echad omer chayev zakai. 2 against 1 wins. As opposed to where, Rabbi Yisai? Is only in Dinei Mamanis. When it comes to Dinei Nefashos, majority of 1 could win for schus to save his life, but to kill him, you need a majority of 2. That's part of the drushes of Yitzilo Eida. We do whatever we can to save a person's life. Shnayim omer chayev, echad omer zakai chayev. One majority of 1 is good for dinei mamnis. Echad omer chayev, echad omer zakai. Afilu shnayim mezaken o shnayim mechayven. Ve'echad omer eini yodeya yosifu hadayonim. You should add judges. So I understand echad omer chayev, echad omer zakai. So now you're undecided, so you have to add more dayanim. But Rabbi says there's a problem over here. If you have shnayim omer chayev, if you have shnayim mizakin, o shnayim mechayvim, you have 2 guys that say exactly the same thing, and then one guy says eini yodeya. So what's the problem? Why do you have to be most of dayanim? Oh, excellent, beautiful. That's the drasha. Beautiful. So l'chora, you see from here this yisod. So let's just say very quickly that the Reb Chaim Brisker tells us that the source for all roves is from the halacha of Achre Rabban Lahatos. Achre Rabban Lahatos, because we follow a majority where? In the world of Dayanim. So the problem is that when it comes to, let's talk about Dinei Mamonos, but the same is true when it comes to Dinei Nefashos, when you need 23 Dayanim, when you need 3 Dayanim. The halacha is the case has to be adjudicated with 3 Dayanim. So now what's the halacha? Well, what's the din over here? I have 2 guys who said chayev. One guy says einu yodeya. So if the Rambam tells us you have to add more dayanim. Why do you have to add more dayanim? So we suggested this idea that the halacha is there is a machlekes tanoim in the world of bittul, in the world of kashrus. Rabbi Yehuda is of the opinion that min mino is lo batul. That if you have 2 things that are parallel, that are similar to each other, there can never be clash. We don't paskin like Rabbi Yehuda. We paskin like the Rabbanon. That let's say you have kosher meat that's cooking up in a pot. Then by accident I bought another non-kosher meat, but it has the same exact taste. We paskin that min b'mino is batul. Min b'mino has bittul. You need shishim, but min b'mino is batul. Midaraisa it's even good with rov, but min b'mino is batul. So the question is, what's the nature of the machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanon? So the Ran comes along and the Ran says a Gevaldige Chiddush, the Yesod for Hilchos Kashrus. The Ran says, what is this pasuk of Achrei Rabban Lahatos? What is this bittul concept coming from? It's all emanating from Rov. So what's the concept of bittul, that now you could take something that's treif and nullify it in a kosher pot? So says the Ran, bittul is a function of clash. Bittul is a function of two things that are different, and because they're different and they're fighting with each other, so one whenever you have a match, whenever you have a fight, a boxing match, so one has the ability to overcome the other. But says the Ran, Rabbi Yehuda held, that's all true when you have things that are different. They have different tastes, they smell different, they look different. They're min b'she'eno mino. The second you have two things that are parallel, that are equal, that are similar to each other, so they're getting along, they're hanging out with each other. There's no problem, there's no concept of bittul, because bittul is a function of one overcoming the other. That's what bittul means. One, the heter now overrided the isser, and now was triumphant over what was going up against it. Says Rabbi Yehuda, min b'mino, you're missing the ingredients for such an entity. Says the Ran, Rabbanan don't disagree with that fundamentally. The Rabbanan just have different criteria to define their terms. Just because things physically taste and look differently doesn't mean that in the world of halacha they're the same. If one is from a kosher aisle and one is from a treif aisle, that by definition, halachic criteria makes it min b'she'eno mino. So therefore the Rabbanan say bittul also is a function of min b'she'eno mino. And you need min b'she'eno mino. We're just a little bit more expansive on what could count as min b'she'eno mino and therefore act as a clash. Therefore the Ran has a big chiddush. He says that's why when you have something that's awaiting a foreseeable heter, a davar sheyesh lamatirim, that's why we say that's not a real isser. That's something that already has the ingredients of being mutter. That already is what? Is more like Rabbi Yehuda's min b'mino. This is not even fully usser. The definition of this item is actually lending itself to the world of heter. That's more parallel. That's not going to lend itself to clash, says the Ran. But if you have something that is clashing, so then the Rabbanan say that's what you need in order to create bittul. So I suggested that's the same idea when it comes to dayanis as well. Dayanis is based on bittul. How do I know dayanis is based on bittul? You can't end this case with two dayanim. You need three dayanim. The Torah says Elokim, Elokim, Elokim. You need three dayanim to pass in a case. He is in a dissenting view, says Reb Chaim. So how could he count as the three dayanim that are pass in the case? The answer is the Torah says follow the majority. Once you follow the majority, so you follow the two dayanim that said zakai, then you nullify the what? The minority. It's as if the minority is coming to the side of the majority. I have three dayanim that are saying the psak, that are all saying the din through Achrei Rabban Lahatos plus bittul barov. That's how you see in a bezdin mamish hilchos kashrus on the din Torah. That's Reb Chaim's gewaldige Einfall, that every psak bezdin is first initially Achrei Rabban Lahatos, then we're mavatal the dissenting view. He comes onto our side, and now we have a psak from three dayanim. In Cain, it works out beautifully. If a dayan says I have stadim lakan and stadim lakan, I actually agree with some of my chaverim, but I have some, I'm not 100% sure, I'm an Eini Yodeya, right? A real Eini Yodeya, that he has a suffix in din, he says, stadim lakan. So there's no bittul, there's no clash. I actually fundamentally agree. I'm parallel to the world of kashrus, a person who says he's a davar sheish lamatir. I could see the other side's opinion. I agree with them. So then what? What doesn't work? Reb Chaim's Yesod. I can't be mevatel him. In order for me to take him and put him onto my side with the other two dayanim, I need bittul. I need clash. I need him to argue. I say zaka, you say chayav. We disagree. We're the majority. We're mevatel you, and then you come onto my side. But if I'm eini yodeya and I hold like one of your opinions, so then you're not nitan lebittul. So memela, he's kemandelessadami. He's not existent. He's not on the bezdin. Now we're missing the number of dayanim that we need. We're missing the number of dayanim that we need. So therefore we yosifu dayanim. Now the Mishnah makes sense. Rabboisai hafla v'fel. This pshat is a gevaldig pshat. I think it's beferish in Rashi. Look at Rashi. I think I saw this. I don't remember if I saw it from the Rav or I saw it from Rav Shlomo Hyman. Listen to this diak in Rashi. Afilu shnayim mechayvin, the second to last Rashi on the Mishnah. Afilu shnayim mechayvin, o mizakin, v'ashlishi oimer eini yodeya, Yosifu adayonim. V'afal gav diava poligalayu. What's Rashi asking? Every v'afal gav is an implied kasha. What's bothering Rashi is the kasha we're asking. No matter what this Dayan's going to say, he's going to lose to the majority. There's two guys that are agreeing against him. So why does it matter? He's an Eni Yodea. Let him be an Eni Yodea. Let's be mavatal him anyways. Listen to what Rashi says. V'afal gav diava mafligalayu have a bottle v'miyuta. He would be, if he would have said not so, he would have been bottle. Ki omer Eni Yodea have kemi shelo yoshav bedin. V'nimtza hadin b'shnayim v'anan tlosa ba'inan. What does that mean? Rashi is saying that this guy, what, he just lost his smicha? He just lost, since he said Neni Yodea, that nibble peh, you're off. You just lost your job. What did he say wrong? He's honest. He doesn't know. Teretz is, he's not nitan for this bezdin. He can never become a dayan on this bezdin because he doesn't let himself bittul. He doesn't let himself bittul. Unlike a person who actually disagrees and had a definitive view, that's a person that can now be considered someone that could be nisbatel and added on. This is the only type of person in Eni Yodea that's kamamish kamanda lesa. Not because he doesn't have smicha, not because he doesn't qualify as a dayan, but because of the way, the mechanics, the way a bezdin works, the way Reb Chaim explained. Yeah.
So why are we posting two more?
Oh, so it's so. So if you
No,
add,
but it's still a vote, right?
So if he doesn't count, if he's
right?
No, but still you have three. But
No,
you
but
have,
then you have three. It's like you have two. So you add one more, you're back to three.
no. When you,
He's saying if you just have two,
yeah.
so now if you add two, so it's gonna be Bez and Chuckle.
Whatever. So you see from that it's not like this guy is really out. He still has.
No, it's still there, but you get to three. At least three can make the decision.
So why are you adding two? That's what he's
You
asking.
get to five, but it didn't shackle.
No, that guy doesn't count.
But if the guy doesn't count, so
No,
then
maybe you don't know it doesn't count. Maybe in 10 minutes it's going
Right.
to change his mind.
So-
He can the Dial can change their vote.
I know, well, you can-
as the process goes on. It's not like they put it in
the ones who voted already,
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
think
they
so.
add two more.
Why not?
You
Who
get
said
two
no?
more, and their votes are.
Let's see the Ramam. Where's the Ramam?
No, we have the show.
Any Yodea. We had the shayla about why two. Yeah, but I don't think I had a pshat. Did I have a pshat?
Maybe he counts towards the basin, but his
The-
They can still convince him.
it's not a battle.
Where's the Ramam over here? Parak Ches Mi'il Chazan. I think the Ramam talks about changing vote. One second.
If someone comes and says like, Achab says, oh, look at this. Oh, we haven't thought about it.
What did I say? Parak Ches?
I don't know. It's logical for me that someone may change his mind. For more debating, right? Look, you know, if you go into in regular court, right? You're debating with it, people changing their mind, right?
No, but they've already issued the stock.
You can only add one person.
Right.
So once you issue the stock.
The issue of size.
Here. Ram says like this.
Let's hear the.
Bezin shel shol shnei l'gushnayim arzach ve'echad b'chayev. Okay, let's get to where he says Eni Yodea. Echad arzach ve'echad b'chayev, echad Eni Yodea. Oshar shnayim zakei o chayev, v'ashlish Eni Yodea. Yosifu shnayim. Nimtza. This is the Rambam. Nimtzeu chamisha noisim v'noisim b'davar. Where the Rambam saying get chamisha? It sounds like the Rambam saying the guy's not discounted. He still sticks around. I don't know if Rashi agrees with that. Rashi says he's commanda lesa. It sounds like Rashi holds he's gone.
At that point.
Oh, so he's going to continue even according to Rashi. Could be.
Mistrial.
Right? But what's the Amr shloisha mehem zakai v'shnayim chayiv hareze zakai. Wait, so again, so what? So you nimtza chamisha noisim v'noisim b'davar. So now, Amr shloisha mehem zakai v'shnayim chayiv hareze zakai. So now he's going to re-vote. That Eni Yodea now is going to re-vote because you were Moisef?
Maybe changes.
Why did he change his mind? Because you got new people.
Maybe they got some new insight.
If Adi's here, so then I'll vote yes.
No, but
So it's a little
it
strange.
seems like the Rambam is saying that there's 3 and 2 that have an
Yeah, they have an opinion. Means he was Eni Yodea when these two guys were here. Now 2 guys came in, and now he gets a re-vote.
As long as you have one Eni Yodea, you keep adding
2. Right. But it's fascinating that he doesn't leave. He's nimtza chamish v'noisim v'noim v'davar, and then the Rambam says, so let's give it a chance. So the Rambam says maybe now he's going to get his vote. Now maybe now he's going to be more conclusive. But or it could be just Pashup Shot that the other guy said something convincing that caused him to be Machriya.
What is saying? You just keep on adding.
You keep on adding 2 if you get stuck until 71. Listen to what the Ram says. Amru shlosh me'em zaka v'shnayim chayev hariz zakai. Amru shlosha chayev v'shnayim zakai hariz chayev. Amru, that's Pashut. Amru shnayim zaka v'shnayim chayev. And what? Ve'echad oimer eni yodeya, meaning he's still indecisive,
That's
right?
fine. That's understand.
Right?
No.
Right? What? So what do you do? Moisifin shnayim.
That's fine. No, what happened if 3 saying chayav,
Yeah.
1 is saying zakai, and the 5th one is still saying I don't know.
You still have to.
I think you still have to add because he's not nisbato.
As long as he's not.
Oh, no, but it's not you have that. You have the 3.
Right, if he doesn't jump
Oh,
back
you
in,
have
or-
3
You
there.
have the 3.
Then it's Bezin.
But you started with 5 dayanim. You're counting him as one of the dayanim.
Right.
Avalim amru avalim amru arba zakai o chayiv. Ve'echad omer eni yodeya osha amru shlosha zakai. Ve'echad chayiv. Ve'echad va'amr echad eni yodeya. Sorry. Bein shaya zeh shamer eni yodeya shu shamer eni yodeya betchila. Bein shamer achar ochel and achar arov. So then no, you're right. Then you follow the rov because you have a bezdin without it. The Rambam calls it. I think there's a Meiri that argues on this in the first paragraph. What?
If it's 2-2, then you add another 2. If it's 2-2, not 3-1.
2, you have to add another 2, and you go on until 71.
Until it's not shuffled.
Yeah, the Rambam goes on. Hayamechzel lemechzel ve'echad amreini yodea harei mosifin shnayim achirim v'chein mistapik adavar mosifin hochen ad shivim ve'echad.
But the question is,
That's the process you go through if you
add
could.
1 because he might jump back in.
no, but what's
Right.
the algorithm? Where do you end? When you end when you have 3?
What do you mean you end?
Meaning
Yes,
you have
the Rambam is
2
saying
more-
you have 3 that say chayev.
Yeah.
1 says zakai, and 1 says eini yodea. Bezdin's over.
Let's go to 7. What about the 7?
7.
So 7 you have to go to 4 probably, right? And done. You're done.
You'd have 4, because that, and then what? The 2 said what? 2 said
2
zakai.
said Zaka and 1 said
Eini yodea. So I think you're good.
So I think that's
Yeah,
the
right.
Why is
Right.
it hard?
But we still don't have an answer still to Itai's question. Why does it have to, by definition, be Yosef Shnai?
Okay, then you can get to make Shakur.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Can get convinced.
Oh, so because the guy can change his mind,
You just add 1, and he goes, you know what? If he's in, I'll do it.
so then you're setting up a potential for Bezdin Shakel.
Yeah.
Right, because you're going to be 4. Right, that's right. Exactly. Because he can go back in, so if we would only add 1, we would have a Bezdin Shakel. Right.
If he was Nispato, then you're
Right, exactly, right. That's it was probably the Rashi that caused us to assume like that. But you have to say that he comes back to life with the new vote. Yeah. Okay, very good. So then the Gemara goes on. So we'll maybe leave off. There's a fascinating dian over here about Hodah Be'ed Echad that we're not going to get to. So hold on to the Ran, the second of the Maramakamis over here. So Machlokes between the Ramban and the Balamor about the implication, because the Mishnah says like this. The Mishnah said, if we read the Mishnah carefully, what did the Mishnah say? When we ask the guy, how do you know? How do you know this Eidus? Where do you know this from? So we understood very well, if the guy says, someone else told me, so you said it's hearsay. That's Eid Mipi, that's not good Eidus. So what is the din if Amar Li Shani Chayev Lo? If he himself told me that he's Chayev, so then the Mishnah said also Eino Klum. That's not good enough. So we kind of left off, why was that not good enough? If you look at the end of that phrase, let's just read that phrase again. Where does that start? Amru heyachata yodea, 3 lines down in the Mishnah. Heyachata yodea, how do you know all these facts? Shezeh chayev lezeh. Im amar hu amar li shani chayev lo. Ish ploni amar lo shi chayev lo lo amar klum. So here say, I get it. Ad sheyomar bifanenu hodelo. So what changed from the first statement to the last statement?
There are some. It says
Bifanenu hodelo, not bifanai. So what's the din in the following situation? A guy is modeh in front of 1 aid that I'm chayiv to adi money. I'm modeh in front of 1 aid in front of Yitzi. I say I owe adi $10,000. Okay, from this Mishnah you would say what?
Maybe he's joking.
Okay, that's true. But what if he even said the language of the following? The Gemara is going to say you can't say you're joking if you say Atem Eidai. You guys are my aid, right? So now what happens if you do the following? Yitzi is my aid. Ata Eidai. What's still Eid Echad? What am I talking about? Why am I even raising a Shaila? Well, so what's the din of an Eid Echad? Eid Echad is what? Is Neman L'chayiv Shvuah. So comes along the Baal Mor and raises the following Shaila. What happens if a person says, not Atem Eidai, that's clearly what the Gemara is necessary to be Mechayiv Mammon. That's good Eidus. That's what the Eidim are actually going to be made in a classic Dinei Mammon's case. What happens if I say Ata Eidai L'chayiv Shvuah? Comes along Baal Mor and he says, you see Beferish in the Mishnah not so. Because why the Mishnah have to change from Yochid to Rabbim? From the fact that the Mishnah changed from Yochid to Rabbim, says the Baal Mor, is Beferish that what? Until you have Bifanenu, you have nothing. You have nothing. And the Ramban disagrees. And the Ramban says it's not true. The Mishnah had to change the language for a different reason. It's not a good diak. And says the Ramban, he argues with the Baal Mor, and he says, if a person says, Ata Eidai, La Alocha, right then, he's Chayiv in Shvuah. He's Chayiv in Shvuah. And the reason why the Mishnah said you were potter in the first line is because you never said Ata Eidai. Just like if you would be made in front of 1,000 Eidim. If I never said Ata Eidai, so I'm not going to be Chayiv. But it's not to tell you by definition that there can't be a Chiyuv from one Eid. There is a Chiyuv from one Eid. We know from the Parsha of Shvuah.
So according to the Baal Mor, that would only apply if he saw it? So the money changing hands?
No, it's also if he's Moideh, and he just says the same thing that he would say. The two Eidim don't need to witness the money change hands. Two Eidim could say, this guy had Eldos Baldim before us, and he said, Atem Eidai. He could say, Ata Eidai.
For Baal Mor?
Yeah. The same Chiyuv that exists L'gabi Mamon for two Eidim could exist L'gabi Shvuah for one Eid. No, not for the Baal Mor, I'm sorry. Oh, for the Ramban, I'm sorry, you're right. For the Baal Mor, a Hodah in front of an Eid Echad is nothing. Hodah is in front of an Eid. So the only case of Shvuah is if he actually saw it. Correct. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Exactly. So so the Ramban says it's absolutely not true. But l'chayr, the Baal Mor is right. I'm never modeh in front of two witnesses, which could be Mechayev Mamon. Who's Neman in terms of Dinei Mamonis? Two witnesses. So then, that's something substantial to say that I'm actually going to be Chayev Mamon. But if I never said it, I never was moida, I never admitted in front of two Eidim, l'chor the Baal Mor is right. L'chor the Baal Mor makes a lot of sense. Why should I be chayiv? What's pshat in the Ramban that says, no, there could be a hodah le'inyan shvuah? No, the Torah says that an Eid Echad is mechayiv shvuah. But that doesn't make my admission to be substantial. So when do I admit, when is my admission something that now has weight, that now could be utilized in court? If I admitted something that has dinei mamonis, what did I do? I called over two witnesses. I said, Atem Eidai. I am very well aware that these two witnesses, by me saying Atem Eidai, can now walk into court and say, Belzan's chayiv. He's chayiv mammon. He was made to us and he made us his witnesses. He gave us power in the world of dinei mamonis. But if I did something that doesn't have that power, and I was made to what? I wasn't made to anything else other than mammon. I said, I am chayiv to adi money. Okay, did you get two witnesses that now could extract that money? That now have actually a capacity in the world of mamonis? No. So why is the Baal Mor wrong? The Baal Mor makes a lot of sense.
We did this a while ago?
That what?
How do you arrive at the Eid Echad is Talmud Shvuah? Is it a starting point too, and it's like a...
Excellent. Nira lefi anias daiti. I didn't see anyone point this out. But if you remember back, we quoted a Chakira that the Stipler brings up in Maseches Baba Basra, based off of a Ramban in Baba Basra. There is a halacha in Shvuas of mitoich she'eno yochel lishava mishalim. What does that mean? It means, what if a guy has a chiyuv shvuah and he's choshed al shvuas? The guy swears all the time.
He doesn't. What's his shvua gonna do for us? You're a shakran. You're not a Yerushalayim. You don't care about Shem Hashem. So you're not gonna help Bezdin. So what's the din? What does such a guy do? So the Gemara says, if a guy is chayiv shvua and he doesn't have the ability to take a shvua, mitoch sheini yochel l'shava mishalim. So he's not able to take a shvua. So he just has to pay the money. Well, what kind of din is that? So Tosfos and many of the Rishonim hold, our hands are tied. So it's a knas. You're a chashad al shvua. You got yourself into trouble. So you got to pay. It's a knas that you have to pay. Ramban says no. Fundamentally, that makes sense. Why? Says the Ramban, shvua is not a chiyuv. Shvua is an opt-out. Shvua is a ptur. The Torah by Eid Echad said, hold on. Really, you should have been chayav to pay. An Eid Echad is really kamla momon, says the Ramban. Says the Torah Chiddush, you know what? Slow down. Let's give this guy an opt-out to take a shvua. Says the Ramban, mitoich she'eni yochel lishava, but this guy is choshed al shvuas. He doesn't have the opt-out, says the Ramban in Baba Basra. Mishalim. We go back to the Yikar Adin. So he has the chayiv to pay. So what does the Ramban hold, Rabbi? Say, what's Shitas Ramban in Kam Eid Echad L'Shvua? It's not that the Eid Echad's really Kam L'Shvua. Really, the Eid Echad's Kam L'Chiv Mammon. Just like two Eidim by Dinei Mammon. Just the Torah was Mechadesh. Don't cut so fast to Mammon. If the guy's not Choshed, let's give him a Shvua first. But if you don't have that opportunity to give a Shvua, says the Ramban, you go back to the Mammon. Memela nir lefi ani azdaiti, it's gevaldik. The Ramban could be lishitoso. The Ramban holds a hodah legabe what? Legabe Eid Echad is a hodah. A hodah for an Eid Echad does have a chiyuv. And therefore the Ramban lishitoso could hold that a hodah for Eid Echad ate Eidai would taka be mamin to be mechayev him a shvua because that actually is a hodah ha-mechayeves. So it's the Ramban l'shitoso, perhaps the Ramban here against the Balamor, and the Ramban in Baba Basra.